Hi, in this tutorial we will review a few tips like Workspaces, main toolbar, the quads, the modifier sets, and the hotkeys. These are tips to modify your menu so you can work faster. When you start, you usually have your default menus. On the right hand side you have the command panel here, and on the top you have the main toolbar. If you look at this arrow here and you click here, it will open the Customize Quick Access toolbar. Everything that's in this list is on the left hand side. Now you may have missed this other small arrow here. You go next to this one in here and you click this open, you will find the default workspaces. I prefer to work with the default with enhanced menus. I can toggle the on and off button here to see all the enhanced menus anytime I need them. Okay, as you're working on the model, you will need to access several menus to edit the object. For example, the first thing you want to do is move. You press W and you'll be able to move. Or you can center everything on the X, Y, Z axis by right-clicking on these buttons. E is for rotating. Control Z is for undo, and R is to resize. You can start using these shortcuts right away. Alt W is to maximize the view. Now I'm going to change the material and the color for this object so it will be easy to explain a few things. For example, you can see the line in black here, and you can toggle on and off. All right, let me convert this to an editable poly. Notice that I have shaded with edge faces here. You can press F4 to toggle on and off those lines. Now let's say when you select some edges, sometimes you can see the number of selected edges over here. I use 1, 2, or 3 panels here, depending on my space and the size of my monitor. Sometimes I just might prefer 2, and I will just open and close the arrows, the plus or minus arrows here if I need them. But sometimes you may not be able to find all the tools you need on the panels. It would be nice to find them quickly so you can edit much faster. For example, to add the modifier Turbo Smooth, I have to scroll in the modifier list here. Although it helps to know that's in alphabetical order, it's still, sometimes we just run through and then we try to find it ourselves, and there it is. But it would be nice to have it in a closer fashion. So this can speed up your editing. For example, we use edge editing combined with Turbo Smooth, and sometimes when we want to see the end result, we have to switch back and forth between Turbo Smooth and the edge editing, such as this. So this can be time consuming. Going back and forth is not really that good. So here we have something that is the symbol for show end result. And if you press spacebar, you can toggle on and off to see the end result as you are editing at the same time. This is called the cage. It has a hotkey to turn it on and off. You can actually find the cage over here, just show cage. Pressing Alt K will do the trick of getting rid of it, or bring it back to. Now remember, I prefer the enhanced views layout. Here's a good reason for that. If you're in edit mode and you turn on the enhanced views, you can quickly, depending on what you're using here, if you're on the edge editing, you can see all the things you can do, like swift loop, which is an easy way to add a subdivision on your object. Using these shortcuts, you can edit it to make it your favorite views. Now, on the main toolbar, you can add a ribbon if you also need it. There's a list of ribbons here that are off. You can add one quickly. For example, if you use, say, layers. Click on layers and you'll find it here. Sometimes it's detached. So you can just drag and drop over here on the main bar and then you will see it. To remove this, you just uncheck from the list. Another great shortcut, and a real nice one, is to be able to edit your model in this area here. You probably use some modifiers all the time, and you would want them to have them near you. You know, some of the more common ones. So depending on what you want. Now, for example, if you miss this, you can come up the end of this icons here. You will find a modifier set configuration tab. When you click this open, you'll see that all the modifier sets are here. You can select any one of those to show up on the screen, but they won't show up unless you click on Show Buttons. Once you do this, your modifier sets will show up here. Now, the nice thing about this is that you can modify it to suit your taste. You can decide which ones you would use the most and in which order. I use Turbo Smooth, Cloth, Shell, and a few others. You may use other ones. This can save you a lot of time. As you select a tab and edit, the parameters will show right here. As I said before, you can decide which tabs you want to use here. Open this tab again and select and click on Configure Modifier Sets. Here you can see the buttons that belong to this set. You can add as many as 32 buttons per set. I use 24, I think, because it's enough. Depending, like I say, on the resolution of your screen or your size of your monitor. You can also add and remove the buttons as you need them. For example, I don't use multi-resolution. I can just grab, drag and drop here. I don't use optimize as often, so I can move that over here too. At the same time, you can select the ones you need to show up here. So you can use, for example, the most important ones could be Open Subdiv. All right, you can just drop it here, and it will show up at the end here. Another one is UVW map. And so you can also arrange them in any order you need them. This is really nice to set it up this way to help you edit much faster. So once you say OK, it should show up over here. Now we can try something quickly. From the list I just opened, let me try a Symmetry Modifier from this list. And immediately, without going to look for it, I already have it. And I am ready to edit. So it's much faster this way. Here, there's another one we can work over here. For example, sometimes I try to make a hole here. And to do this, I have to usually work manually. I wish it was right here on these quads. So I think we can add one there later. To create a circle and add a hole, I usually do this manually. First, I have to set up certain parameters and then start modifying. Like this. But in a command tool, it will do much faster. And it's of course not over here either. So when you right click here, you can see the quads, and I would like to add them here on tools number 2, somewhere in here. To do this, we're going to go to customize user interface. And over here on the tabs, it says quads. Once you turn it on, you'll see the 4 squares here that belong to each one of the quads. This one on the right hand side has the list of all these tools, and including its sub menus, and you will find them over here on the list. So we are actually interested on this one here. Everything you see here is over here. So we can add one from the actions list. I want to add one that will help me make holes or circles, and it's called regularize edge loop. If you don't have this one, you can download it from the internet. So once you drag this over here, it should show right there. If it doesn't, then you may have to save it, and you may have to load it again if it doesn't work the way it works here. So now let's try to use it. There, it's much easier that way. This way I can continue very quickly editing and going on to what I was intending to do. Again, I think I can use here Turbo Smooth, and I'm saving a lot more time this way. Finally, we can add a hotkey. A hotkey will help you do the same thing. Sometimes one of the commands is available to use, for example, cap. But I'm going to go into customizing the user interface, and on the keyboard, I will look for a hotkey for cap. Select cap here. And you notice there is no hotkey assigned to it. If I try C, it's assigned to camera view. If I try Shift T, well, that is assigned also to something else. You know, you can keep on trying a few letters until you find something that will work. Shift D is not assigned, and I think we can assign that one to this if I can remember that capping will work with Shift D. So after this, you can save it and load it, or you can try to use it. Let's see if it works now. So first I'm going to select the edges around the holes, and I'm going to press Shift D, and voila, it works. This way, with all these tips, I think you can manage to work a little faster. Of course, there's a lot more shortcuts and ways to speed up your work that I can go off in one tutorial. But at least this will get you going, and you should be able to render faster at the end of your editing. And thanks for watching. Have a nice day.